Welcome back everyone to the FS Academy VFR training series. Now that the 8 individual lessons have been completed, we can move on to, I guess, what you can call cross-country flights. There's going to be 3 different ones, one in the UK, one in the US, and one in New Zealand. All 3 of them, from what I can tell, are broken up into 2 parts, and so we'll do one video on each part, that way to keep the video length short. Today we are in the 172 in the UK at Elstree. This trip, again, will be in 2 parts. Leg 1 is going to be from Elstree to Biggin Hill, and then from there, leg 2, we're going to continue on to Shoreham. So let's get started. All right, folks, here we are in the Cessna 172 G1000 edition. So today we're doing our first cross countries without an instructor. So we're gonna get no help. We're all on our own today. So we got the VFR map and our navlog here. And I don't know if you noticed, but I believe the way it looks like all the point of interests are actually they've been tuned in to the autopilot, so you can see, kind of gives you an idea. So if you get lost, you can look and see how far you got to go. Now let's look at our navlog here. So I am not familiar with the UK at all, so this is, you know, something I do a little research, especially for point of interest 1, the M1 motorway. We're going to depart Elstree, cross the M1 before reaching the cemetery and turn east. So if you look here, it's not even a whole nautical mile. So that doesn't really give you a whole lot of time. So I had to go to Bing Maps. I first went to Google, but since everything is with Bing in the sim, I pulled up the Bing Maps, which you can see on the screen here, that I needed to search for this cemetery. So I had kind of an idea where I needed to turn. And so now that I kind of got an idea, it's kind of right off the runway, just not that far. So I need to make that turn. Otherwise, you know, we're going to miss it and go on past it. So, but anyways, I think it was kind of good. I assume, I'm not a real pilot, but I assume you would do your research before you do any trip. So I don't consider that cheating. I mean, if you guys do, yeah, sorry. But anyways, so if you look here on our VFR map, this is where we're at. We're gonna, I assume I'm gonna take off this way, and the cemetery is just kind of like right over in this area. I don't think it's that far away, but maybe it is. And we're gonna turn and go to the east. So this is the, let me just zoom out here. This is the whole thing here, and I believe this is our first this is our at the end of our first leg right here, I think. Let's scroll down here. Biggin Hill. So yep, Echo Golf Kilo Bravo. So this is our first, and you can see here that it provided a little bit of our VFR journey here. We've got to watch out for this controlled area here. We're gonna have to keep it below 2,500 feet, and they do give you a little bit of tips. So right here for the golf course, continue eastbound to the golf course visual reference point at Chipping Barnet, staying below the Class A London TMA, which starts at 2,500. So as long as we don't go over 2,500, we're good. But based on this map, once we kind of make this turn to the south, we can go higher than that if we want to. Because it looks like here when we join, we're doing an overhead join at 2,600 feet, so we are going to have to be above 2,500 and to land on 21. Overhead joins, it's you know, we don't have to do that in the States from what I understand. I'm trying to remember the procedure to do that, so we should see how that goes. But anyways, that's enough talking, so let's get going. I'm going to, oh, one more thing. We can use the back on track thing. There is no achievements, so I know with the normal bush trips, if you use the back on track, you don't get an achievement. So I don't think that is going to be a problem here. We definitely use it if I need to. Sim's been a little bit jittery since Sim Update 3. Hasn't been too bad. I haven't noticed the huge frame rate loss that other people have, but I definitely have noticed something. Good news. I did get the alpha yoke. It is here. I don't have it installed. I was going to wait to get the Bravo, and then yesterday the Bravo became available and I placed an order, so we should see. Hopefully it gets here quick, probably next week. All right, cleared on the right, cleared left. I'm excited to get that and try it out. I did have the alpha yoke before and got rid of it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just at the time I did not have this space for it. So, all right, so what I'm going to do here, we're kind of up off that hill. I'm going to click on the heading button to put our heading bug at runway, and then at altitude I'm going to lower that down to 2,500, just as a reminder not to go past it. It's kind of hard to use this with track IR on. Okay. All right, I think we're good. All right. Full power. A little bit of right rudder. Trying to follow the center line. Okay, we are up. Looking for around 80 knots for the climb. Now I'm going to turn pretty much as soon as I get to the M1 because it's, you don't got far to go for that cemetery. All right, so we're about 300 up. Let's raise the flaps. All right, let's look outside. There's a cemetery right there, which I would have had no idea that was a cemetery. But let's turn. So we're turning to the east. Need to lower my nose a little bit to get a little more speed. Yeah, that cemetery doesn't look that great in the thing or the photo scenery, so I wasn't sure that was it. I just assumed. Lower the nose just a little bit more. Okay. So I was trying to see if I could trim out here on this climb so we get up to about 2,300 feet maybe. That's little. All right, so while we're doing that, I'm gonna go pop up the nav map. So we're gonna continue eastbound to the golf course, which is about 5 miles away. So if you look at our reference here, we got about 4 miles until we get there. Do have some clouds today. With these bush trips, or these, yeah, I guess these bush trips, these lessons, you can set your weather, so you can do this in different conditions. I wanted to do them with a little bit of clouds, but they may be. My cloud here seems kind of like you're about to run into it, so we'll see. We'll just level off here at 2,200 then, since that cloud looks like it's going to get in our way. So I've got to look for a golf course in 2 miles. I'm going to try to level off. It's been a minute since I've been in a Cessna. Or this Cessna. Golf courses are usually easy to identify. That looks like the golf course right there. Actually, not ahead, they're next to us. Right down there, maybe. I see some sand. All right, so as you see the next, so now we need to make our next turn. The Banbury Reservoir, locate this reservoir to the south of the two large bodies of water. Look for traffic coming from this Stapleford Airport. So that's about 8 miles. All right, so we're going to continue on with this nav map. If you look at the VFR map, let's see here, or we're still continuing on for quite a bit. So I assume these reservoirs are right around this area. Okay. All right, so we're doing okay at staying level. Haven't fully trimmed it out. I am looking forward to, on the Bravo, they're going to have that trim wheel. We'll see how that works. Right now I'm just using my some buttons on my Warthog HOTAS to try to trim. So even at 2,000 feet, we're getting a little bit of clouds. So this might be interesting coming in to do that join at 2,600 feet. Beautiful scenery through here. UK's beautiful. So let's see here what's coming up next. Once we get to the reservoir, we'll gaze to the right and pick out the scenic London skyline as you parallel the Thames, maybe? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Towards the medium-sized town. Class A is above 20. Still, okay, so this Class A we got to watch out for. So we're a mile away. All right, so now we're supposed to parallel that river right there. I'm not going to try to butcher the name again. So I am going to try to do a parallel heading. This is the longest part of our, at least right now, longest we've seen. It's about 12 miles to the next point of interest here. Now I assume, you know, being a pilot, you'd have your iPad or some tablet device, maybe, you know, with just some VFR maps. I could not find any VFR maps openly for the UK. I know they're very readily available for the US. All right, so we're paralleling here. I think we're pretty good. I just need to get my altitude back. I'm gonna try to raise my altitude now. We're gonna go up to 2,300 feet, because if you remember from looking at on the map, we got to do an overhead join at 2,600 feet. Okay, so we're about 2,400 feet. Still having a little hard time getting this thing trimmed, which has been the story of my life during this trip. All right, so according to this, we got about 5 miles to our next POI, which is POI 4, which is Brentwood. So if I gaze to the right, you know, see the London skyline. So that's where we're heading now. And then once we get there, we're gonna pick out the motorway junction and follow the motorway. So you can see we're going to go towards the south. So that's this part here. So we're going to we should see a town and then the motorway, then we're going to turn south to head towards that. POI 6 is the Dartford Bridge. So that, I'm guessing that's right here. So that looks like a major road to me. So where's a town? That could be the town right there. All right, so I don't see any other major roads, so we're just going to turn and follow that one. So there is the road, which per our training, we have to keep on the left-hand side. All right, so we are passing the road with a lot of built-in, baked-in cars. So I need to keep that to my left. And I can see the bridge right there. That's that bridge we need to follow. We're staying about 2,500 feet-ish. Now, once we pass this bridge, I believe we need to hang a left. Oops, starting to go down. I think having the alpha yoke will help me a little bit, because right now I have this this stick, so sometimes when I move left or right, it could actually move up and down as well. It's a little difficult to try to just move one or the other. I haven't mastered that. And so we're following the M25 motorway, keeping it on our left. We're gonna cross over this river here, and then we're going to make a slight left-hand turn towards the racetrack. And that's heading 180. Okay. All right, so let's check out this bridge. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There it is. It looks like ortho's a little bit wrong, because looks like you can see the bridge going underwater just to the left of the bridge. That's okay. I'm used to ortho. Being a big X-Plane 11 user for a long time and using ortho for XP, that's kind of something I'm used to. All right, so now we're going to make that turn. We've passed it to heading 180. We're looking for a racetrack. No, wait a minute. I think that's the racetrack right there. That certainly does have a shape of the racetrack. So yeah, that's it. Pretty positive. So we're heading for point of interest 8, which is right here. And then our next stop is the airport. Does that town look triangle shaped? Maybe. That might be it. I'm not sure. Sort of triangle shaped. And there are some lakes. All right, so now I guess that's it. So now we need to go look for the airport, which is that way. So let's head out. We need to be around at 2,600 feet, so I don't want to get too high. Oh, yeah, there's the airport right in front of us. All right, so decision time here. So runway 21, let's look at this. So this should be 21 on this side right here. So this is 21 here and 3 here. If I remember correctly, as we turn, we're gonna fly over the runway threshold, runway 21 threshold at 2,600 feet, and then make a right-hand turn. And this is where I'm a little confused. If I have to, I don't think I start descend. I think I start descending. This is where it's a little confusing. Once I pass runway 21, as I turn to pass runway 3, and then I get into a right downwind for the air for 21. Please feel free to correct me. So here's the airport. Runway 21 is right there. That's runway 3. Let's start our turn. Try not to, I don't want to get too hot now. I don't want to get high, too high. I want to stay at 2,600 feet. Okay, there's the airport. It's looking good, I think. All right, it's gonna power down now. Start descending into circuit altitude, which is 1,600 feet. Okay, I'm passing the... Whew, all right, here we go. I'm passing the runway threshold, so now we are going to make a... Give it out just a minute. Let it keep going just a sec. All right, so now we're going to make our right-hand turn. Look lined up. Now, here's runway 3. We're continuing descent into, we got 300 feet until we get to circuit altitude. I'm going to bring back the throttle some more. Okay, so 200 feet. We're getting a little fast. All right, almost at circuit altitude. All right, want to go out just a little bit further. Oh, lost the track hour there. All right, there we go. Circuit altitude. We're gonna make our downwind turn. Okay, there we go. We are on right downwind. Bleeding the power just a bit so we can get down to flaps. Not quite in the white arc. I think I'm going a little too fast, or going down too fast. All right, so little flaps 1, we're pretty close to the white arc. Okay, we're gonna make our base turn. Don't want to get too low on speed. Can't see the, there it is. Okay. We'll go full flaps, start our final, turn into final. We're high. Don't want to get... Okay. Definitely overshot a bit. We'll get back on. Okay.
500.
Need to bleed off some speed. It's alright, the runway is long enough for us. Here we go. And we are down. That was a little mess of a circuit there. An overhead joint, I'm sure, but we made it. Whew, that was kind of nerve-wracking. Let's slow down. Come to a complete stop on the runway. And there you have it. We completed the part 1 of the first of 2 legs in the UK, I guess cross country. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. Had some good sceneries. You know, had a little issue with the overhead join, but you know, it's a learning experience. I feel that I am getting better. So, but anyways, thank you so much for following along, and I can't wait to see you guys for leg 2 of the UK series. See you around.